everyone, it is once again Morphin Mania time. Welcome to day 2. I am Captain Logan, and joining me again is DJ the Blue Ranger.
That's me.
DJ, do you plan on being the Blue Ranger the entire time, or might you have a color switch here and there?
Well, I only have one shirt, so it's either this or nothing.
Yeah, and he means it too. That's the only shirt he owns.
Pretty much, man. I'm pretty I'm a minimalist.
I like Power Rangers, and that's what I like. And I like just the Blue Ranger. And that's it. Like if I had that, I would just have a Gold Ranger shirt, and that's all I would have.
How would that work? I would love to see a Gold Ranger shirt attempted with like.
I'm sure someone's done it, right?
I don't know.
Surely. You know, I meant to make this joke when Jason was here last time, yesterday, for folks watching this in January, just a little bit ago for folks watching live. Jason is our third Ranger on this show when he makes it, and Eric will be like that too. So like our normal team size of Rangers on our show is just 2. It's just a duo, and then we have like a mysterious, like, could be friend or foe third Ranger. Occasionally pops in. He's the Plaid Ranger. Anyway, so
does Eric wear a lot of plaid?
If you no.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to think of a thing that, like, there is no Plaid Ranger.
That's the kind of insights you'll be getting here on Morphin Mania.
Yeah, that like things that are not a thing. Those are the insights you'll get on Morphin Mania. Today we are watching the 3rd and 4th episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from season 1. We begin with teamwork, so make sure that you're watching that episode and not some other episode. Otherwise, this will sync up very interestingly. And if you are watching live, just go to the link in the description, click on that, and you can watch the exact feed that we are watching, sync up with us perfectly. And that's just at rabbit.com. You have to create an account there, and then you can watch along with us. We've already got a few people in there. There's Mr. Roboto in our chat. There's Bag Studios. Hi, guys. Good to see you. We're having to start a different stream each time we do a new episode for these, so I've got to wait for some people to kind of pour in, and we'll see how well that works out as we move along with this. This is a work in progress. We're gonna be figuring this out as we go along. If you are watching this after the fact and you want to watch it along with us, pull out your DVDs, your Netflix, assuming that Netflix still has Power Rangers at that point. Hopefully so, or we're going to be sunk. Get it to timestamp 0. Get ready to press play when I say now. And if you're watching live, just go to the Rabbit feed, and I will be pressing play when I say now. Okay. DJ, are you ready, sir? Are you ready for some teamwork?
Yes, that was a significantly shorter intro, so we're doing great.
Yeah, maybe at 35, maybe I can get it to like 35 seconds next time. I'm gonna keep trying to beat my goal. You know, it's gonna be like trying to beat a Donkey Kong level at a faster time.
I love Donkey Kong.
I just thought of that. I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to get good enough at Donkey Kong that I can speed run it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but it's fun. Okay, here we go. Everybody, Mom Yours says, Power Ranger for kids, stupid. Yep, it is a kid show. We're well aware. And that's why I'm going to try really hard not to do any deep analysis on this show. But everybody knows me. I'm liable to read too far into things. Okay, here we go. Everybody, please press play. Are you ready, DJ?
Yep. Right
now. Time for teamwork. After 10,000 years, we're free. Again. There's an episode of Zeo where Rita gets another staff. Finster somehow builds her another staff while they're like riding around the moon in a motorhome. I don't know where he got the resources to do that. And he's like, it does all these other things that your last staff couldn't do. And she's like, I don't want to know what it is because I just want to be surprised. But she just goes, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And then she just assumes there are things it does. It's great. But she just goes, it looks exactly like the last one.
Maybe she'll accidentally figure out how to teleport.
Yeah, all that staff was communication. It has 2 buttons on it. I don't know why the communicators had another button if they weren't for teleporting in the first place. What is that about?
I have no idea.
Baron OKC says, looking forward to the later seasons for that reason. For what reason? Rita and Zed driving around in a motorhome? David Crabtree, that theme song never gets old for me. I have the same thing. I never get tired of it either. I think Wasserman is an absolute genius.
Yeah, they really lucked out with him. He kind of made the show.
So again, this seems to be what Trini does for fun, trying to save the environment, which more power to her, but I just wonder if she has other hobbies, because we just don't. Her hobbies are not going to high places and cleaning up the environment.
It's cool that her bicycle's hanging back there, that she rides sometimes. Right there, on the wall.
Yep. And when she does it in this show, I'm at a complete loss. I mean, to be fair, I don't entirely know why she does it in the Sentai either, but there are places where she's just flying in the sky in that bike because that's footage they had.
Yeah.
Eric told me that, and I wish he was here to give us some of this insight, because I don't know as much about the Sentai as he does. And he's watched through it all, and I've not. I've seen Green with Evil and not much else. It's not called that there, and I think it's 6 parts instead of 5 here.
Really?
And one of them is called just, spoiler alert, but like whatever the Green Ranger's name is, because I can't remember his name right now. It's That Guy Dies. That's the name of the episode. But he was telling me about how all the producers for the show got was bits and pieces of episodes. They just got like the footage they were going to use, like just the action stuff and not much of any of the human stuff. And so they didn't even know what the stories were they were adapting.
Oh, wow. If that's the case, I got to give them more credit than I do, because that seems like it'd be so hard to salvage anything. Yeah.
You just have to build a story around these random things that are happening. Barai dies. That's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Barai dies.
Yep. Barai dies.
It rhymed.
Spoiler alert. Thanks.
It's like that movie, John Dies at the End.
Yeah. We did that on Netflix Roulette like a million years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. Made you very uncomfortable.
It did. Maybe it wouldn't as much now. I'm getting so desensitized. People make me uncomfortable on a regular basis now.
Yeah.
I'm like, good job, guys. You made me uncomfortable again. Hey, Kimberly just did a really cool flip over a trash can. I bet she's not a Power Ranger. Look, she's flipping again. She can't be a Power Ranger.
Unnecessary flips are my favorite pastime. I could easily jump over this barrel, but I'm going to round off over it.
Oh, we haven't started counting anything yet. We were going to do counting.
Yeah, you don't want to count like the 2 obvious stuff like morphs and stuff.
No, because it'll be boring. It's just busy work at that point.
Yeah. Telescopes, we can count telescopes.
Yeah, like times she looks at a telescope and could just fire something through it.
Missed opportunities, we'll call it.
Well, it will be here all day, man. Like, that's all we'll be doing.
Oh yeah, that
and finish them with a monster. Yeah, he's got a totally different voice. Well, Rita, I hate to break this to you, but it's the 3rd episode, and it's an environmental message. So yeah, you're gonna lose. There are places where you'll get closer.
We're looking around like
I was gonna say, I love the synthesized music so much. Pollution bad. Pollution really bad. It's right out in the open. Everyone in the city should be dead. Pollution bad.
This is a really cool set, though. I would love to shoot like a fight scene at this place.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But it's really over the top.
Yeah, it's like,
really
how is this allowed to be?
Not just right out in the open like that's all this toxic sludge. Like, if Red Hood walked in here, he would become the Joker in the middle of the day. Hey, I know. Throw the putties in the toxic sludge.
Yeah, beef them up a little bit.
No, it's not Titan. They're not going to become like Jacked Bane.
They'll just turn white and get red lips.
Oh, Baron OKC was talking about me analyzing everything. Like, that's why he's excited for the later seasons, because I'll just analyze everything. And then he says, but the RV2. I love doing this with a live audience. This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, this is cool. I like it. I'm digging it.
Because some of these guys are going to be way more clever than me off the cuff at like 12 or 1 in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, it's like we have our own little writer's room.
Yeah.
Pitching for us.
Yeah, thank you guys for creating the content for us. Really appreciate that. So we just took we took an observatory that really exists, and we just imposed it on top of Vasquez Rock. I'm just expecting Kirk to fight the Gorn on the bottom of it.
Walter Jones is really cool. He came to Dragon Con here in Atlanta a couple years ago, and I got to sit on the panel with him.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
That person says, hey, Cap, after watching the Star Trek V commentary, I looked around and you can buy a near mint marshmallow dispenser for like $35 on eBay. In fact, I bought one yesterday on eBay and I spent less than that. Not even kidding. I finally bid on one. I bought it yesterday.
Wow, that's a heck of a coincidence.
Isn't it? David Crabtree, even the villains from Captain Planet think that's ridiculous. I was like downtime in the command center. I wish we did more of that.
Yeah, it's a really and I was talking about this with you and Danny earlier. It's such a unique set. Like none of the other series have like a set that's this memorable. Maybe it's just because I grew up with it, but
no, I agree. And I mean, like, they had $5.50. If you had more money, you'd do it bigger, right? Like it should be like the size of a Star Trek bridge or something. It's a little it's a little cramped. It's a little small.
And I like the version in the movie that they have. The 95.
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah. Yeah, no, they did a really nice update on that. I will say, I think the power chamber is almost as good. Like I like it quite a bit from Zio.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the suits in the background. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's very Batman. I would make the argument that the lair in Dino Thunder is decent.
Yeah, it's kind of more just like a lab, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's memorable. I'm trying to think of. I guess we'll see when we get there.
And then of course, Deck is just a spaceship, so they just have a bridge.
Yeah, which is cool, and they use that for Lost Galaxy too.
Yes, Jeffrey, there is a Minotaur in the show. In fact, that's one of the monsters that they made an action figure of. It would have been nice to get more figures for monsters. They didn't make some of the best ones.
Yeah, it's hard to know when you're making the show and producing the action figures in advance which monsters are going to be the memorable ones that people love.
Yeah, but I mean, Bandai had kind of a different model than somebody like Playmates or Toy Biz or something. Like Playmates with Ninja Turtles made just everything.
Yeah, they just made everything.
It started. The thing is, Power Rangers is always a toy commercial, but I think they were they just took kind of a different tack on it than Ninja Turtles did. So like Ninja Turtles was even more like, let's make a show just to sell figures. They didn't know if they would even go beyond that miniseries. And I think Power Rangers was actually like hoping for ratings, but not expecting it at all. Like they didn't think they'd get more than, the first season. But I think they might have made more toys if they had known that. And yet, as it went along, they never went with that model. They never made everything. They also made bigger figures. Like if they went with that 3.5, 4 inch size, they could have made more figures.
Yeah, weren't they like almost 12 inches? Like they were pretty big. They're like dolls.
Jeffrey says, I am watching the episode with you, just an FYI. Yeah, sure. Was I just like describing everything on the screen? Why is he saying that? The Minotaur was also, if memory serves, I think one of the playable characters in the Genesis fighting game. I think that's right.
Oh, that's cool. I had the Super Nintendo Megazord fighter, which is really good.
It's really good. Yeah, we'll try to review that.
In there.
I'm going to do some specials with video games in some form or another in this series. They probably won't be live. I might try to rig up a live thing for those. I'm not sure yet. But at the very least, I'll do like a conversation with DJ or Aaron or somebody. In the it might be cool to get Aaron in for some of those too, even if it's the three of us, for something akin to Superhero Replay. Oh, I'm with you, David. David says he hopes we get a Power Rangers episode on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us. Yeah, I was a little surprised that wasn't the first season. Or I say the first season, I don't know if we're going to get more of that. I don't know if you watched that, DJ. It's great.
I haven't seen it.
It's awesome. There's the Zord that DJ thinks is kind of lame.
It just rolls. It doesn't even move its feet. At least
it's just a tank.
The saber-tooth tiger is cool. I like the saber-tooth tiger.
Yeah, but don't you know that in real life Triceratops, they had wheels underneath them and they just scooted around on them? Lasted Heath says talk about Star Trek. No, we're doing Power Rangers right now.
Maybe it just means on the channel in general.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
We are going to put out a Star Trek 6 commentary here in the next few days. Moving and a grooving.
Do not remember that catchphrase. Didn't catch on.
There are some bits, and I don't know if we'll notice them as we're talking over this, but there are some bits early on where a lot of the terminology is weird and different than it will be later, or at least some of it is.
Yeah, they call it, like his cosmic cannon is what
the cosmic cannon. That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you.
That's so cool. I like that better, actually.
I do too. I wish but later on it's just the power, whatever it is.
Yeah, they say power everything. Yeah, got to stay on brand.
Power Lance. Power Bow.
It's always weird that he says Power Lance as he rips it into two parts and then throws it.
Oh, that's true, because it's not a lance anymore. Because you took it apart. Yeah. Baron LKC wants to know if Freaky Tiki is still one of my favorite monsters. Oh, absolutely. And when we get to him, I will just lose my mind. I will spend the entire episode just going.
That's one of the episodes I had on VHS, because that's
really?
That's the Lights of Orion where they find those. I watched a lot of Lost Galaxy.
I can't even. Is that Lost Galaxy? Yeah. So we are going to do that one. We're going to do all that.
I really hope I can talk to Eric a little bit about it, because I know that's his favorite.
I will do my level best to get him here for it.
Magna Defender is still one of my favorites. I know he doesn't really seem like a ranger to you, but he's still really cool.
He doesn't look like a ranger at all. How's that a ranger?
Well, he's not a ranger. He's a different thing.
But... Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just right. I don't know. I mean, it's fine if he's not supposed to be. Like, neither is Ninja or Auric, but they're also not played like six rangers. Like, he's in a lot of that show.
He comes back as kind of the sixth ranger, which is a little weird. But I like the original. We'll talk about it.
So, spoiler alert, but they're going to beat up the Minotaur, and then the episode's going to be over.
I'm kind of surprised Kimberly knew that it was a Minotaur. I wouldn't expect her to know much about Greek mythology.
I think that was one of those things where Zordon just names it.
Oh, really?
Because remember, Zordon knows everything about everything, even if it's never happened before. So he'll be like, oh, it's Rita's new such and such monster. And I'm like, are you watching her lair? Like, she's watching the Ranger? I don't know how you know things you know. He treats it like it's stuff she's always done before, but it's very often things that clearly have not ever happened before. Because it'll be like Finster came up with a new thing. Oh, yeah, this is where they get their weapons. This probably is where Cosmic Cannon gets said. Jason's like, yeah, it's a sword.
Oh, he calls it Power Axe. Then why does he call it Cosmic Cannon later? That's so weird.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's right, the Power Axe. It's like it's got a cannon on one side and an axe on the other side. He could be a cannon murderer.
It's actually really cool because it cocks like a gun, but I don't know.
It's maybe the coolest weapon in some ways. Like, it's not my favorite aesthetically, but it's actually really cool, like, just what it can do.
Yeah, have you played it with him in the game?
No, a little, but I don't.
They take advantage of the weapon really cool in the game.
And
here's that weird thing where they have the other weapons that transform into these weapons.
Yeah.
That's from the Sentai that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. We just Yeah, we just do that because that's the footage we have. Yep.
But he gave them the power weapons, and they turned back into the. I don't understand.
Thomas Edshell, do I have to explain my joke? He said murders of cannons. No, I was like, it's an axe and turns into a cannon, and you got axe murder. It's a cannon. That was the joke. Anyway, I had these as a kid, and they were some of the coolest toys I owned. I miss them. I wish I still had them.
They made a new version of the Power Sword, just like that Gold Ranger that you have.
Oh, did they?
They made a die-cast Power Sword, like metal, which is really cool.
I don't have the Gold Ranger one. Yeah,
you have Saba.
I have Saba. I do really want to get that, and I'm thinking about breaking down and doing it when we get to Zeo and just bringing it to the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. That he was also making a joke. I thought I had to explain my joke because jokes are always funny when you explain them.
No, he was saying like a guy who actually murders cannons.
He just the cannon murderer. He murders cannon. I think that's Todd McFarlane. Actually, I think is a cannon murderer. Yeah. Any shot I get, yeah. Jeffrey, that Minotaur is mythology. Take that, Rita. One of my favorite things about Rita is just like trying to come up with lines that kind of fit what the actress is saying, like what the mouth is doing.
She mostly just grunts a lot because it's probably pretty hard to match.
There are places though where they get really clever with it.
Oh, this is where they use their power of super cleaning.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do the speed up thing because it's always funny when people are running around in sped up footage. If it's 1920. See, is this just like pretending to be funny because we don't really know how to do modern comedy, or is it an homage?
Did he actually like go away for like a second and come back? And were they supposed to be using their powers there in the middle of the hallway?
Can you say they were using their powers? It's like a silly comedic scene. Maybe that wasn't even using powers. I couldn't begin to tell you. Because there are places where the Rangers can do things that seem impossible because it's a silly cartoony scene, but they're not using their powers necessarily.
But he seemed surprised that he went away and came back and it was already done. So I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know how long he was gone, man. Maybe he used the restroom. You don't know.
He just has no faith in the youth, and he's like, whoa.
Well, that's true. He doesn't have any faith in the youth. So, yep, there's another pretty generic Power Ranger episode. The Minotaur looks really cool. I've always liked that monster.
That's a cool monster.
That's about my takeaway from that episode. And Alpha dancing is fun, I suppose. I want Alpha to do everything the other Rangers do too, though. I want him to get on like the balance beam.
Just have like that episode where he's like going around trying to find his thing, and he's trying out every Ranger's sport. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is a pressing engagement. Because he's doing bench pressing. Right. Where's Danny when we need him? So if you are watching this after the fact, make sure and rig that up before we get started here. Bag Studio sends a $2 super chat. Thanks for that, man. Can Power Rangers work animated, and what seasons could get comics? I'll start talking about that a little bit when we get into this episode. And thanks for that, because we need something to talk about during the intro. So let's get rolling again. We're going to do one more episode for this show, and let's go ahead and get started. Everybody, please press play, unless you're watching live, of course, in which case you'll just see what I'm seeing. Everybody, please press play right now. We are moseying right along, DJ. Making progress. Power Rangers can absolutely work animated. I have suggested that that's the way to do adult Power Rangers. Yeah, you could get some really cool animation with this stuff, and bring back a bunch of Power Ranger actors to voice it. You could make it like a hodgepodge of Rangers from different series, like we're doing in the comics right now. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and that's been working really well for Voltron. I mean, obviously, Voltron was always an animated series, but like
you go look at that show, and I haven't watched much of that, but you go look at that show. That's what a Power Ranger show should look like if you were going to do an animated.
Yeah, if this Spider-Verse is really popular, if it stays as popular as it is right now, then I could see an animated Power Rangers thing getting big.
That's a great point. Yeah, I mean, even big screen animated Power Rangers would be cool, but that'll never happen. I wouldn't think.
Everybody's talking about the Spider-Verse movie, and even people who don't even watch animated stuff. It's really cool.
It's getting, and of course, by the time this comes out next year, that movie will have been out already. But that's getting merchandising. I didn't realize it was going to have action figures and stuff.
I love how he's doing 1,000 bench presses. Like that's
like yeah. And what's going to get really silly is Ernie's going to lose count, and he's going to have to start over.
Why? Just go back to the one you said before.
Yeah, he just goes, "Oh, I lost count." That will happen, and they'll have to start over. I also think it's really funny that he's eating a hoagie while this guy is like killing himself working out.
Why in the world would Jason not be keeping count? If I'm doing this, I'm definitely going to be keeping my own count.
That's true. And he's eating a hoagie over Jason's face. Like Jason's like getting crumbs on himself while he's bench pressing. Somebody's asking me if it's daytime in Kansas. No, it's not. It's nighttime in Kansas.
I love that this is a high school record of 1,005 bench presses. What high school is this? They got Billy creating teleporters.
But nobody guesses that the cream of the crop in the entire country are the Power Rangers.
Yeah, it would make more sense if they went to like a magnet school like Spider-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming.
That's a great point. That is where they should be. Yeah. Yeah, like they're such super geniuses. We had to corn them off. Sorry,
I'm listening to Ender's Game right now, and kind of like that, where they pull up the best for the school. Like, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be a cool spin to do for Power Rangers.
That's a good idea, yeah. But it would be a lot harder to keep your secret identity.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not though. If you're with a whole bunch, like you just anybody there could be one of the Power Rangers. I would love that as an ongoing joke where it's like we assume the Power Rangers are kids that go to this school.
Well, I mean, if it was an Ender's Game situation, I would think that the Power Rangers would be like the school. Like you would go there to be trained to be the Power Rangers, and they would take the best and brightest from around the world. That could be a cool way to get a global Power Rangers.
Oh, the guy asking, yeah, that's a good idea. The guy asking me if it's nighttime or if it was daytime here, it's because he thinks it looks like it's daytime here. Now I'm in a basement, and I have it lit. It's camera lighting.
Very lit.
Yep, it's lit.
Oh no.
What? I just repeated what you said. Well, I did. I don't know.
Makes me feel old.
It makes me feel old as well. Yeah.
I love
evil one. Sorry.
I love it when you brought that up in an episode and Eric had no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, did that happen?
He hadn't even heard of that. Yeah. You were like, I don't mean it like the young kids do these days.
That was one of the manias, wasn't it? Like Marvel or Batman or something?
I can't remember.
Thomas Edgehill, who is the best Zordon actor? I mean, that's tough. I'm really partial to the original, to Fielding. I think in some ways I almost like the second voice better, but I think he was just there longer, so he was able to kind of solidify it more. Like, that's not really fair. But it was always Fielding's head. So, like, Fielding is the Zordon actor, and then there's another guy who voices it longer. But I've talked to Fielding. He's a cool guy. Like I'm biased toward Fielding.
Yeah, I remember that interview you did with him a long time ago.
It was so much fun. And then I talked to him for a while at Morphicon too. He's a great guy.
Is the movie the second guy or a completely different guy?
The movie's a completely different guy. Okay. And Fielding wanted to do it. But I think he told me, I don't know, you'd have to go back to that interview. It was like 6 years ago. I can't remember what he said now. But I think he said something about either like living in another place and he just couldn't come back for it, or they didn't want him, or I forget what it was.
Yeah. So we've had 4 Zordon actors at this point. That's crazy.
Yeah. This is Power Rangers. I don't like that word. I don't like that word. Chillaxin irritates me. But yes, we are we're having a good time.
He's
just sitting around watching Power Rangers. That's the show, you guys. So strap in.
Oh man, is he really tickling him?
Yeah. And I don't want to sound insensitive or anything, but I don't think that would work.
Through a leather jacket, I don't think
Yeah.
he can.
I just don't think that would actually tickle. Maybe he's just that ticklish.
There's another fat joke. He rips his pants.
Do you want to count those? Because we're going to get that a lot, man. I mean,
count the insensitive, not PC fat jokes.
And now Thomas Edgehill says, this is kidorable. Everybody's bringing up these words I hate. These amalgamations of words that irritate me. Okay, so I see the patrons are here. Thanks, guys. What is that video game in the background? I want to know what it is. Or if it's just some generic thing, or if it was like an actual real video. What is this? Bike rice? I'm not sure what it says.
Bike rice.
That's my favorite kind. It's the new flavor from Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben's bike rice. I've always thought that Austin St. John does a really good job of just playing Jason super straight, and sometimes it's hilarious just because of how much of a sense of humor he doesn't seem to really have. But like he's never making fun of this material, and like all of them are good at that, but he especially like as the leader, he really does have the presence for that.
Yeah, I recently listened to a video on YouTube where he explains how he got the job. Oh, it's the Sphinx. Sphinx is a pretty popular monster.
He also had an action figure.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember seeing him a lot, but I don't think I ever knew what episode he came from.
Every time we see the juice bar, it's just the same helicopter shot, like every time.
You can only see it from one spot in the city.
What were you gonna say about St. John?
Oh, he just gave a really good. He's a really hilarious guy.
Yeah,
he told the story about him getting the job and how he had no acting experience at all, and he just got thrown into this fight with the choreographer. It's a pretty great story. You can check it out if you get a chance. Yeah.
And of course, nobody at this point was hired on the show for their acting jobs, and it shows. Like good Power Rangers acting is not the same thing as good, drama acting.
It's really a good thing that no one is looking at the beam right now.
Yeah, one of the things that I can't remember what episode it's in, so I'll mention it now in case I miss it. One of the things that drives me crazy about Kimberly, there's an early episode. And I think I brought this. Yeah, it's back.
Weird. Sorry.
I'd love to know where that is now. But there's a line that she'll have, and I talked about this in the rewind, where she's like, exercise makes me sick or something. Like she's a gymnast, but for a minute we don't remember that. Yeah.
Gymnasts train for like 5 hours a day. They train harder than everybody. That's crazy. Yeah, this is a really cool monster. I like this one.
It's a good monster. One of the things that's nice about it is it can move. Like the guy can move in that suit better than some other monsters.
Yeah. Even though it is kind of bulky. But look at that. He just jumped across the...
Yeah, it is bulky, but it doesn't have a bunch of stuff like all over it. It's got wings and it's got like a muscle chest, but you have a lot of monsters that are just like a big block or something.
It's cool how nice how well he matches like Goldar later, but Goldar doesn't even have the wings yet. That's a completely American thing, right? Because that's season 2 when he gets the wings.
The wings? I'm not sure.
I think
I don't know if there's
the wings. I'm pretty sure.
I never put that together, but you must be right about that. But it's weird because he looks like a creature that should have wings.
Yeah, he looks like the flying monkeys.
Yeah. And of course, the Sentai was going to those kinds of things. I mean, they've got a witch that flies around on a bicycle. Like they were looking at Wizard of Oz, obviously, and a lot of fairy tale stuff. I've always wanted Power Rangers to be more of a sci-fi thing. I've always just thought the mythology would make more sense if it wasn't magic, and it's usually a kind of a blend of both. Mighty Morphin cannot decide much of the time what it is. Like, you know, we're always talking about it like it's magic, but then, you know, Billy has all of his science stuff, and like we cannot exactly figure out what it is. And I always wanted to see a reboot of Power Rangers take the magic totally out of it. And 2017 kind of did that, but it's just so vague. I don't know what it is at all.
Yeah. It's so advanced that it's like, it seems like magic. That was really weird. I saw there was a sports pendant on Billy's wall. I wouldn't take him for a sports guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. Maybe one of his parents gave him that and he just put it there to appease them.
They try to get him into sports.
I can't remember. Do we see them put the crystals in their Zords before they get the crystals? Is that a thing? I can't remember. I don't
remember seeing it. I think because I think it is a further thing in the Sentai. My only experience with the Sentai is from Mr. Fusion's videos.
Oh, okay.
But I think he talks about the crystal thing.
I think the crystals are really funny because they just pull them out of thin air, and so it's like they had them all the time. Zordon's like, oh, and by the way, the crystals. And it seems like a thing you would have needed earlier because it's about your Zords.
It's like he's finding it now, which is weird because I thought Zordon... Yeah, I'm sure this is like a whole quest, like a 2-episode quest in the Sentai.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they probably didn't have half the footage of the quest. Wait, I'm really confused right now. So what was this if he has to go get the crystals? Like, it looked like they were getting the...
I don't know
what was that.
Did he just give them information? I don't know.
But then why did they make them out of thin air if he had to then go get... I don't know what's going on.
It's the same thing with the weapons from the last episode.
Yeah. Zordon, your weapons and stuff are really redundant. Like... No wonder it takes you like 180 episodes to beat a supervillain.
It's really interesting how each Zord comes from like a different like environment. Like
which makes no sense.
The ones in the desert, there's a volcano, like a rainforest. Like where are they coming from? Are they every time coming from like around the globe to get to them?
Yeah, no, they're not. And we know that because they are in the command center. We find this out later. Like that's what looks like what's going on because that's the Sentai footage. But and like it must be places all over the globe because I don't know if you know this, DJ, but there are no volcanoes in California. So they at least not to my knowledge, not any active ones at any rate. So there's oh,
she did it again. I want to see how long Kimberly can keep up like rhyming her insults with the bad guy's name in it. She said, let's munch this Minotaur last time. And then she said, let's jinx this Sphinx. I'm going to see.
Let's jinx this Sphinx. We should
what does that mean? Are you going to make 2 of it? Are you going to, like, I don't know what that means. I guess
what means? Yeah. What would it mean? Well, it rhymes, you know, so it's
the only thing that rhymes with Sphinx.
Poetry, it rhymes. No, I was talking about something. I can't remember what it was now.
No, sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm trying to talk about what's on the screen.
That's fine. I'm doing that. I'm doing that too, as much as I can.
Oh, you were talking about the chamber underneath where the Zords.
Oh, thank you. Yes. That was what was on screen. You were asking about the Zords, and yeah. So we know from later on that they have a big, hangar for them because they have to go clean them.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Maybe they had to teleport all around. Maybe Zordon.
Graphic. I guess that's also Kimberly pulling a Kirsten Dunst. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either. Does she say jinx a lot? Maybe Zordon just went all out with the design for the Zord chamber and just like went crazy with the decorations. Put a volcano.
Maybe so, but it's outside. What is it? A simulation? Is it a holodeck? Is that? Mr. Roboto gives us $2 super chat. Thanks, man. It's space magic. Captain Logan. Volcanoes happen. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you can explain everything with space magic. It's space magic. Alpha, Rita's escaped. Let's give 5 teenagers with attitude their costumes and things, but not give them any way to communicate with each other, or the crystals that do things with their Zords, or any weapons. Cinegraphic says pulling a Kirsten Dunst is in going all cheerleader on her friends. Yeah, okay. That's a view we don't get very often.
From the top? Yeah, that was weird.
That overhead view. It's always weird when we shoot like Star Trek bridges like that too. You'll get some artsy-fartsy director that'll come in and be like, hey, why don't we put it from up here?
And that was cool. He shot the beam out of his head.
Yeah.
That was different. So wait, what? Aren't they in the chest or are they in the head? I thought they were in the chest.
They're in the chest.
So what were they looking up? How did they look up?
I like this. Keep your eyes on the Minotaur. Oh, and then there's Goldar. Goldar fights a lot.
I love how he's like an action figure where he has to move his arms to move his wings.
Well, that's because of where his wings are located, though. They're on the backs of his arms, like. Oh,
they're not independent appendages at all. They only flap when he does that.
Yeah, Finster's not great at his job, it turns out. Bag Studios says coming 2020 from Geeflution, Trek Mania. Is that a thing you're asking for, or do you just think I'm insane enough to do it? Man, dummies. See, that's one of those great places where it kind of looks like she said dummies, so they said dummies.
That actually looked great. That final move he did with the sword. I don't know how they even did that back then, but that looked awesome.
So this is a huge pet peeve of mine with sci-fi shows and things like this. And TOS did this all the time. Teleporting by just blinking and not having any kind of an effect drives me crazy. Where you just keep the camera stationary, pull your subject out of frame, and then start recording again, but you have no filter or anything. So look, he's doing it again. So is this like 3,000 reps now in total?
It's only like 50 pounds, so maybe. It's not that much weight. It's a really weird record that they're setting a rep record instead of a weight record.
How many times can you go? And then like tomorrow, somebody's going to do it with like 10 pounds. How many times can you go? 10 pounds. Cinegraphic says, I'll do one better. Who's Finster? Finster's. If he's a monster, he's an alien guy.
He looks like
Tom Essential. He has one job. It's stupid, but he's gonna do it. Okay, here's a cake.
Oh, first cake.
First cake. DJ, are you gonna write things down, or should I write things down?
I can pull up a note.
We are really halfway doing this counting thing. Look at the weird spray painted X. Like, you cannot tell me he didn't come up with that.
It's like there was something on his shirt that they didn't want to pay for branding, so they just like spray painted over it. Like, it's Skull, it'll work.
Somebody left the cake out in the rain. Oh no!
Wait, is this cake celebrating his breaking the record? Is that why?
Yeah, did they order it assuming he'd break it?
No, he didn't order it. He just found it somewhere because it says "Happy Birthday, Mom" on it.
No, they acted. I thought they said that he like had to get it at short notice or something. Okay. Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, that's what I thought the idea was.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for paying attention to the show.
How long do we do the freeze frame thing? Is that for a while?
That is through. Does Zeo do it? I mean, I think it's no, it does. I think it's through Mighty Morphin Era. I think Space keeps doing it.
Oh wow.
I don't think we stop that until Lightspeed Rescue. If we stop it, or until Last Galaxy, if we stop it there. I don't know. Bag Studios. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't answer this earlier, Bag Studios, because you left a super chat and you just left another super chat. I appreciate it. Which seasons do you think can have a comic line? Well, I mean, I think most of them really. As far as which ones would be successful, like the big popular ones, like the ones we were doing on this show, plus Ninja Storm. But yeah, in the comics right now, we're blending a lot of stuff. So we're going to the other seasons, but we're putting them together. And I think that kind of thing is liable to be more popular. I mean, I don't know if what they're doing right now is really going to catch on. I read the first issue after Shattered Grid and wasn't super impressed with it. It kind of feels like Battlestar Galactica with Power Rangers, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that kind of thing is more likely to be popular, where you just kind of make it a potpourri of characters from different things. But I don't know, DJ, what would you say is the Power Rangers series that would make like the best comic book?
I can't really think of any that wouldn't work, actually. Like,
yeah, same here. Like for my taste, probably Dino Thunder, or Space. Like any of the more grand ones. Like I think Time Force would look great too.
Yeah, you could do a lot of cool things with Time Force. If you did a high school one, I would want it to be Dino Thunder. SPD would be really cool. SPD has some cool, interesting, like it's an interesting science fiction kind of world that you could do a lot of cool stuff with.
Cinematographic says Battlestar Morphica. Yeah. Well, that is the end of day 2. We've done it again, DJ. We managed to sit through 2 more episodes of first season Mighty Morphin. We are blowing through it. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. DJ, do you want to do one more, or do you want to call it a night?
I'm fine. We're flying through it. We can do it.
Okay. All right. This evening, we're going to shoot one more. So if you want to stick around with us, feel free. DJ and I are going to make one more episode this evening. It will be day 3. We're going to shoot 2 more. We're going to watch 2 more episodes of Power Rangers. And so give us just a few minutes to get that set up. If you are watching this after the fact, we sure appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. And we will see you again tomorrow for everybody that's watching this next year. I am Captain Logan, and this was DJ.
See you guys. See you in a bit.
See you later, folks.